A Love Story in 11 Scenes, 2001. We meet at a poolside table at a hotel in the dusty town of Mossoró in northeast Brazil. It isn't quite love at first sight. After all, he is smoking, holding a drink, and sitting back in his chair with just enough overconfidence to be unattractive. We are there for a workshop on agriculture in Latin America. I've been studying melons in Brazil for my dissertation at MIT. He has been studying raspberries in Chile for the United Nations. From melons and raspberries, our conversations meander to an increasingly appealing topic, each other. I'm intrigued by his journey from one of Quito's dangerous neighborhoods to the city's elite boys' school, which happened to be Jesuit, and I have a weakness for Jesuits. Dad studied with them for 20 years. He's self-reflective and articulate, a conversationalist unlike most men I know. He also has the most alluring olive skin. 2002. Our first family picture is in the neonatal intensive care unit at Georgetown University Hospital. We wear matching light blue hospital gowns over our clothes. I sit on a cushioned glider chair holding Gabby, who's swaddled in one of those white hospital receiving blankets with the baby blue and pink stripes. Carlos sits beside us, one hand caressing my hair and the other cupping Gabby's little head. We both gaze at her. Gabby was born near full term, but doctors keep her in the hospital because of her unusual features: widely spaced eyes, low muscle tone, long fingers, and most concerning, a dilation of her aorta where it joins her heart. They can't figure out what she has. One specialist suggests Gabby could be cognitively impaired and paraplegic. Another is more reassuring. We don't really know what your daughter has, but I've seen many children come into the world in much worse shape who go on to thrive. That's what Carlos and I hold on to as we sit there holding Gabby in awe. 2005. Gabby and I craft a sign to greet Carlos, who is returning after 2 weeks in Colombia on business. I place a yellow poster board on our dining room table. Gabby kneels on her chair, crayons in hand. Bem-vindo, pai, I write in thick letters. All around, Gabby draws flowers, a sun, 3 stick people. Carlos travels almost monthly for work, a week or 2 at a time. I generally don't miss him. Our difference is now turning to a difference. But that particular trip I do. I remember feeling giddy, probably putting on something nicer than my usual jersey t-shirt dress, probably preparing stew, rice, and fried plantains, knowing we'd make love after Gabby went to bed. 2007. Christmas Eve. Gabby and I decorate our gingerbread house on the dining room table with bowls of colorful jelly beans and miniature candy beads, deciding whether to put tiny candles in the windows or a Christmas tree that could be seen from the outside. Later, we prepare the pavê, a tiramisu-like Brazilian dessert, our annual contribution to Christmas Eve dinner at my parents'. Gabby delights in dipping the champagne cookies in the port wine and arranging them in the Pyrex. Christmas carols play in the background. Carlos is leaving the house for yoga class. Yoga today, really? I whispered, standing by the door next to Carlos with a yoga mat slung over his shoulders. I'll be back in a couple of hours, he said. What difference will it make? You're just preparing for this evening. Once again, I thought, he still doesn't get it. 2008. I don't remember what we're arguing about, but there we were, walking out of our bedroom when Carlos stops, looks at me, raises his arms, and with uncharacteristic drama, sighs. I just feel you're cutting my wings. 2009. It's a Saturday morning in March, the 3 of us sitting on our sofa, Carlos and I next to each other, Gabby on my lap. I caress her hair, a natural instinct any time she's on my lap. I hold her hands. We both try to seem calm. We had planned to tell Gabby about our divorce that morning, giving her the weekend to process it before heading back to school, though knowing she'd probably be processing the divorce the rest of her life. Weeks earlier, he had shared with me possible rentals, discussing trade-offs between layouts and location. With guidance from a family psychologist, we had also crafted a script of how we'd explain the divorce, refining it in the days leading up to that morning. Hola, Carlos. Attached is the revised script. Let me know if you'd like to change anything. Don't know if, when we'll have time alone before Saturday, so send me any comments. Beso, Beo. Beo, it looks fine. Just made a few changes, but we can stick with the original version. I just tried simplifying a few things. keeping it more conversational, responsive to what she says. Just tell me how you'd prefer for us to do this, if you first or me first, or one of us starts and the other follows. And honestly, the original script is fine, so if you prefer it, to keep it as such, I'd understand. Beso, Carlos. Hola. Your edits are fine. I can start. And from there, either of us can speak as it comes to us. The script is just meant to guide us, but who says what will depend on how we each react.